Hey guys, so for today's video, I am going to be recreating my very first ever nail tutorial, or the nail set that I did for my very first tutorial. And it was this like encapsulated snakeskin design. So I do have this snakeskin here. It is real snakeskin. And I'm just going to take these little scissors and cut up some little pieces that are the length of my nails. So it is in like this tube, so I do have to cut a piece off and then cut down the side of it to kind of open it up so I can lay it flat on the nail. And usually I can get two nails done with a size like this, and then there's like a little bit extra pieces left over, which I will use those little pieces that I cut off later. And then once I get it like cut open, I do hold it up to the nail to make sure that it is long enough. I like to do it a little bit longer than the nail, that way I have a little bit of like wiggle room when placing it down. Also, I can kind of have more options because some of the scales are larger, like on the belly part are larger than on the top part. So once I kind of figure out how I want it to go, I do apply this with base coat. So this is the Jinbei G Jelly base coat. I got this for Christmas. This was the first time I had used it. And it's like just your standard base coat, but I noticed it held on really well to this snakeskin. Sometimes when I'm using base coat to apply things, like I feel like it doesn't hold things down very well or like hold them in place very well. But this base coat like really clung onto the snakeskin, and I like really didn't have to hold it down when I cured it. Like I could just smush it down onto the nail and it stayed there while curing. After I got it in place, I did go ahead and cure for a full 60 seconds. And then after getting it cured, I just cut off any of the excess that was hanging off of the nail. And like I said, I am saving those extra pieces for later on. I applied the snakeskin to my pinky ring, pointer, and thumb fingers, and then for the middle nail here, I am just going in and applying the base coat to the entire nail because I am going to be laying down a thin layer of the Jinbei Builder Gel. I think it's the Long Run Builder Gel. Just to even out the surface and fill that gap where the tip meets the natural nail, because I am going to be painting over that. So after I got the base coat on, I did cure it for 60 seconds. Now I'm taking that builder gel. Again, I got this for Christmas, so it was my first time using it. And I just take a little bit of that and apply that to the nail. Again, here I am just trying to fill that gap where the tip meets my natural nail, because I am going to be going over this with gel polish, and I didn't want you to be able to see that ridge there. So this is just to make the surface like one smooth, even surface. After I got that applied, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. Now I'm taking the black from Ball Pit and applying that to this nail. I did do 2 coats of this, and I cured each coat for 60 seconds. If you do get this black gel polish and you use it, it is a very pigmented gel polish, and it is slightly on the thicker side. So you want to make sure you are applying it very thinly and making sure you cure it for at least 60 seconds. in like the full 60 seconds, not 30 seconds or anything less than that. You need to do at least 60 seconds or else it's not going to cure properly and you'll have like wrinkling. And also if you have uncured gel, that can lead to gel allergies. So you do want to make sure you do, like I said, at least 60 seconds, and make sure you're doing a super thin coat of this because it is super pigmented and slightly thicker. Now I'm just going in and applying the base coat to all of the nails because I wanted to make sure that the builder gel was going to actually stick to everything, especially the snake skin, because, you know, different types of textures, gel doesn't really stick very well. I feel like it probably would have stuck pretty fine to the snake skin because it does have a lot of texture, kind of like, you know, when you etch your nails or etch the tips to rough up the surface a little bit, so that the gel does hold. Snakeskin is kind of the same thing, and it does have those ridges. But like I said, I wanted to give this gel a fair chance and just apply the base coat to make sure that it stuck to everything well and there was no issues and no lifting. And then after I got the base coat on, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. Now I'm just going in and applying this builder gel, how I always apply my builder gel. So I start off with a thin layer, which is my slip layer. This just makes it easier to move the gel around and get it to flow on the nail nicely. If you don't do a slip layer, which you don't have to, but I feel like if you don't, it's a little trickier to get the gel to glide across the nail because gel does stick to gel, and with builder gel, this slip layer does exactly that. It makes it so it does slip and slide across the nail a lot easier. So I apply that slip layer, do not cure it, and then I take a larger glob of the gel and apply that to the nail. And I like to start it where I want the highest part of my apex to be. So I start it pretty much like right where the tip and my natural nail meet, because that is where I want the highest part of the apex to be, to make sure that the nails don't snap and break. And then I just kind of drag it down the nail. And because I do have that slip layer, when I place that glob down where I place it at, it does kind of like flow back towards the cuticle, but it doesn't flow so much that it floods it and gets all over my skin, but just enough to where it goes up towards the cuticle and leaves like a nice flush area there. So I don't really do much around the cuticle. You might see me push a little bit of gel up there, but for the most part I don't really do much up there, and that helps me get a nice clean cuticle area whenever I do nails. And then I will sometimes hold the nail upside down to let gravity kind of pull that gel down to help create a little bit of a higher apex and to make sure everything levels out and is nice and even. And then I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. Now with this gel, I was having a lot of heat spikes. Like, I had a heat spike on almost every single nail, and that could be for a couple reasons. Like, that could just be how this gel is. Clear definitely has a tendency to create heat spikes, and that's just the way the molecules, like, they're moving so fast when they're like curing and stuff. So it does create the heat spikes. And matte top coat tends to create a lot of heat spikes as well. Another reason why heat spikes can happen is your nails are pretty thin, and that could be from overfiling, or in my case, I do just have naturally thin nails. Usually I do have a layer of hard gel on my nails. Like, I always leave a layer of hard gel on my nails from my previous sets, so I don't usually have heat spike issues. But with my last set, it was with acrylic, and I did completely remove those, so I filed them down and then soaked the rest of it off, so there was nothing on my nails. So it could, like I said, it could just be how this gel is and it just creates heat spikes like that, or it could be because like I said, my natural nails are pretty thin. They've always been thin. There's not really much I can do there. Like, my natural nails are a hot mess. They've always been a hot mess. Super thin, super, like, fragile and brittle. They break so easy. That's why I do, like, nail enhancements and, like, artificial nails and whatever, because my natural nails are a hot mess. But anyhow, after I got all the nails built up, I did go ahead and do all my filing off camera. And now for that middle nail, I am just sculpting out the little 3D snake that I'm doing. I'm using the clear trippy gel from Nails by Dev, and I'm doing this like section by section. So I started with like the tail end of the snake, just kind of rolled out a little log, placed that down on the nail. And then I went and started doing the body of the snake, and I wanted it to look like the snake was wrapping around my nail. So I just kind of put it at an angle and like wrapped it around the nail here. I did place this down wrong. I was supposed to place it to where it was going the other, like diagonally down the other way. So you will see that I do end up scraping that off and then redoing that. So I just redo this process over and over again of taking some of that clear trippy gel out and then rolling it out into a log and then placing it down onto the nail. And I don't cure any of these pieces until I have the entire snake done. So after I have the entire snake on the nail is when I do cure it, and I do cure for a full 60 seconds. Also, another reason why you might get a heat spike is because you do too thick of a layer, but this is builder gel, and like, you're kind of supposed to have a little bit of a thick layer, like for the apex area at least. But like on the part, like my natural nail area, that wasn't super thick or anything. It was like the normal thickness that I usually do. So like I said, I feel like it was probably because my natural nails are super thin and like I didn't have any kind of like protective layer on them, maybe. I'm not really 100% sure. The next time I do my nails, I'll be able to test that out and see if like it's just how the way this product cures, or if it was because of my natural nails being thin. So originally I was going to do something completely different for this set, but then I saw a post about how like for the, is it Chinese New Year or is it Lunar New Year? Is that the same thing or is it different? I don't know. Anyhow, This year is the year of the snake, and I was like, I kind of want to do snake nails now that I know that, because I really like to do snake nails. I've done a couple different snake sets. And I remember when I did this set the first time, I was so in love with it and how it came out. So I wanted to recreate it, but I didn't want to do the neon green that I did the last time, because last time I did it, it was in the summer, so I felt like the neon green was pretty fitting. But this time, you know, it's winter and I really didn't want to do neon green or any other kind of neon color. I thought black would be really cool to do with the snake skin and would help to make it pop, because it really popped against the green, and I felt like it would really pop against the black as well. With that previous set, the first time I did it, I believe I did like pink glitter, like a reflective pink glitter on the underside of the nails, which helped made the snake skin that is encapsulated to show up a lot more. Whereas with this set, I just left it clear. I didn't want any kind of glitter on this set or anything, so I did leave it clear. So with the original set, you could see like the different color variations on the snake skin a lot better, whereas with this one, since it doesn't have any kind of background on it, it is a little harder to see some of those darker spots and some of those lighter spots. It does look very light and almost clear. But I thought it looked really cool, and I did like how it looked, so I wasn't too upset about that. So for the head of the snake, I just took a little bit of the Trippy gel, rolled it into a little ball, and then I took my silicone tool and kind of formed it into a little bit of a triangle shape, and then I put that on the nail and finished shaping it out on the nail. So I did continue making it into kind of like a triangle shape, but it's not like an actual triangle. It's kind of like a rounded off kind of like square like triangle, if that makes any sense. If you've ever seen a snake head, you can kind of tell like you know what I'm talking about. Specifically a ball python, because that's what this snake skin is from a ball python. So I was trying to like copy like the head shape of a ball python. But anyhow, like I said, after I got finished with sculpting out that snake, I did go ahead and cure for a full 60 seconds. Now I'm just taking my liner brush and that base coat and just going over the body of the snake. And I do this one section at a time. I remember when I did it the first time, I think I tried to do it like all at once when I first attempted it, and it like just did not work. So I learned to do one section at a time. So I applied the base coat, and now with those little extra pieces that I have from cutting all the excess off of the rest of the nails, I'm just setting that down on there. And like I said, this base coat was super good at holding down this snake skin. I remember the first time that I did this, I was having a lot of troubles getting it to stick down. I can't remember what exactly I used to do that. I don't remember if it was base coat or rhinestone glue. I might have used just my builder gel to do it. I don't know. But this base coat really held it down nicely. So I didn't have too much of a struggle getting it on. Once I got it on, I did cure I flash cured it, I think, just to get it on so I could move on to the next section of the body. And then once I got all the snake skin on, I did go ahead and do a full 60-second cure. But since snakeskin is super fragile once it's dried out, it was just super easy that after it was cured, I could just kind of rip it off like you see me doing here, and just have it be where I like glued it on with the base coat. And it was at this point where I started regretting choosing black for this design, because I had to ombre it, and black is not an easy color to ombre at all. So to do this, I'm taking the black from Ball Pit, and I'm just applying some of it up like on the nail bed area. And then I do go in with my Easy, this is called the Easy Zombre brush, but it's just an ombre brush. It was called a Zombre brush because she came out with it during like Halloween time, and it's green and whatever. But anyhow, I'm just trying to ombre that a little bit, and then I will take the black shading gel from Nails by Dev and apply that to help diffuse that line a little bit and actually make it look like it's fading down the nail. And I just kind of drag that down the nail kind of the rest of the way, because by the time I get down to like the free edge area, it's so like thinned out that it's basically clear. There is a little bit of black pigmentation there, but it's not like enough to cover up the snakeskin or like what's underneath. You can still see through it pretty well. So that did help it to blend a little bit, but like I said, black is not an easy color to ombre at all. Dark colors are actually very difficult to ombre. One way to do it is to this technique that I'm doing, where I do the fully pigmented color and then take a jelly color, the same color, and like use that to help blend it out and like diffuse it some more. But after I got that on, I did cure it for 60 seconds. I think I ended up doing 2 coats of it, just to get it like fully opaque, since you are like dragging it down and like thinning it out a little bit and like spreading it super thin as you go down. And I really wanted like the nail bed area specifically to be fully covered black, so you couldn't see through that at all. You can kind of see here as I'm thinning it out, you can kind of see through it a little bit because it is so thinned out there. And like I said, I didn't want that area to be thinned out and you be able to see through it. So I think I did do 2 coats. I might have done 3, but I'm pretty sure I did 2. And usually a second coat when you're ombreing does help to get like a smoother ombre look. Like it just blends it out a lot better. So after I got that second coat on, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. And now I'm going to be applying the rhinestones around the cuticle area. I'm using these AB rhinestones, and to adhere them, I'm using the Squeeze gummy jelly from Nail Couture, and I'll be using the Crazy Top standard top coat. There are 3 different versions of this top coat. There's thin, standard, and thick. I got the standard because I don't like a thin top coat. And on the website, because I got this from Sweetie Nail Supply, or well, my mom ordered it for me for Christmas. But on the website, it says the thick one is good for like 3D elements, and I just wanted like a plain top coat, so I got the standard. But anyhow, I just apply the rhinestone glue around the cuticle area, and then I apply the top coat down the rest of the nail, also like dragging some of that rhinestone glue down to smooth it out so there wasn't like a ridge or a lump where the rhinestone glue was at. And then I just take the rhinestones and stick those on around the cuticle. And then once I get those on, I do flash cure it just so it stays in place. And then once I'm finished with the rhinestones on all the nails, I will go in and do a full 60-second cure. After I get all the rhinestones on, now I'm going in with that same top coat and top coating the middle nail. And as you can see, I am going at an angle when I'm applying it. And that's because whenever I do 3D elements like this, I like to follow the shape of the 3D element. That way I don't get like pooling around that the 3D thing that I did. Oh my gosh, what was I saying? Yeah, I go in the same direction, and like, or I'll like pull away from it to prevent the pooling. And then after I get everything top coated, I do go ahead and cure for a full 60 seconds. And the next clip you're gonna see is like my finishing clips, like outside and in the dark under flash. I apparently didn't get any like finished shots here at my desk once I finished it. I don't know why I didn't do that. It might have been super late when I finished them, and I was gonna do that the next day but then forgot. I don't know. I did these like a month ago, so I don't remember exactly what happened there. But I think they turned out pretty good. I will say though, I was happy with them for like a week, and then after that I hated them and wanted to take them off, but I did keep them on for the full month of January, or at least until this last week, because I did just now take them off so I can go ahead and do my February nails. But overall, I do think they came out really well, and they were pretty cool. Well, I thought they were cool for a week. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.